Dr. Rami Ranger CBE is a remarkable person. He is a truly multidimensional man with a passion for business, politics and community service, which has culminated in him being honoured by the Queen on 8 occasions, 6 times for business and twice for community service. Rami's story is a fascinating one. He was born 2 months after the assassination of his illustrious father, Shahid Nanak Singh, who was against the breakup of India on the basis of religion and was assassinated by religious extremists. Rami, having lost his ancestral home and breadwinner, started life in a refugee camp in India with his mother and siblings. His mother instilled the right values which formed the foundation for his success. Today, Rami is the chairman of Mark Ltd and Sea Air and Land Forwarding Ltd, 2 of Britain's fastest growing companies with a combined turnover approaching £200 million and growing fast. Both of these companies received the most prestigious award from Her Majesty the Queen, the Queen's Award for Export Achievement in 1999 and the Queen's Award for Enterprise in International Trade for 5 consecutive years from 2009 to 2013, with the Prime Minister himself, the Right Honourable David Cameron, presenting him with the 5th award. This is a unique achievement and has made history in British business. As if this wasn't enough, we were once again honoured by the Prime Minister when he presented Dr. Rami Ranger, the chairman and founder of Sunmark, with the GG2 Leadership Award for Man of the Year, and gave a special tribute to Dr. Rami Ranger and what he has achieved, not just in business, but in his philanthropic endeavours for society.
This is the Man of the Year Award, and the winner of this award is, I believe, living proof of the spirit of enterprise and entrepreneurship amongst British Asians. I was hugely honoured to go to his business premises to see him be awarded one of the many Queen's Awards for exports that he has had. He is a great man, a great friend, a brilliant entrepreneur, someone who's put an enormous amount into this country, created jobs and wealth throughout this country. Ladies and gentlemen, the GG2 Man of the Year Award goes to Rami Ranger.
Most recently, Dr. Rami Ranger was given the Freedom of the City of London, which is given in recognition of the benevolence of their charitable work. And amongst the dignitaries who have received the Freedom of the City of London is Mr. Morgan Freeman, the highly critically acclaimed and legendary Hollywood artist. Rami was named as the Institute of Directors Director of the Year for a large company for 2013 for the UK, following on from his achievement of winning the IOD Director of the Year for a large company for the London and South East region for 2012, and continues to receive numerous accolades for business and commerce, including recently the CBI Export Champion of the Year 2013 at the Growing Business Awards, the Leadership Award from the Indo-British Business Forum, and National Champion at the European Business Awards. Rami was also recently elected Vice President of the highly prestigious Institute of Export and further honoured by them for his achievement for winning 5 consecutive Queen's Awards for Enterprise. In 2005, Rami was also made a member of the British Empire for his services to British business and the Asian community, and his continued efforts in these fields were further rewarded with an award of Commander of the British Empire in 2016. He has a great passion for political and social reform to help all that he can within Britain. Rami was the co-founder of the British Asian Conservative Link. The organisation was formed to make Asians more publicly and politically spirited and to help the Conservative Party become more inclusive and representative of modern-day Britain. Due to work done by the BACL, the Conservative Party now has growing support within the Asian community, and where it previously had no Asian members of Parliament, it now has 5. As a result, the party has become stronger and our democracy richer. Rami is the founder member of the Hindu Forum Britain, which was set up to unite all the different Hindu organisations in Britain so they could project a cohesive voice. He felt that it was essential for the public to know about the Hindu religion and the contribution that this peace-loving community made to enrich British life and to ensure that they received due respect for their faith and that frivolous depictions of Hindu deities were not put on items such as shoes and carrier bags. Rami is the chairman of the British Sikh Association, which promotes interfaith dialogue and a peaceful coexistence. This was set up to celebrate the vision of the Sikh Gurus for a united mankind. Rami set up the Pakistan, India and UK Friendship Forum soon after 7/7 and 21/7 bombings of the London Underground by British citizens of Pakistani origin. He realized that we had to make a conscious effort to build bridges with the Muslim community, which felt marginalized as a result of the actions of a few followers of their faith. He organized, for the first time ever, anywhere in the world, a joint celebration of the Independence Days of India and Pakistan in London, and in the process made history. His message was, "We now have one country and queen, and as a result have become one." In memory of his illustrious father, Rami set up the Shaheed Nanak Singh Foundation. The foundation works for peace between religions and communities, which is so pertinent in this day and age and a cause close to Rami's heart. An annual memorial lecture is held in India, and in 2013 was delivered by the Indian Minister for External Affairs, Mr. Salman Khurshid. Rami firmly believes that today's youth is tomorrow's society, and we have a responsibility to do our best to shape the future of our country, not only for ourselves, but for our coming generations. To this end, Rami is a Fellow of the Prince's Trust, the charitable group presided over by His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, and works to give opportunities for extra education, work and training to young people to help them build brighter futures. Rami speaks at events to help inspire people from underprivileged backgrounds and tells them his own life story to show how anything is possible in life. Rami is also a proponent of the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi and how one should make the most of opportunities to improve themselves, so that they become examples of the change we want to see in the world. To keep alive the memory of this great man, Dr. Rami Ranger donated £100,000 to the Gandhi Memorial Trust Fund to build a statue of Mahatma Gandhi in Parliament Square, London, close to the centre of government, and keep alive his teachings so that more people could be enlightened by what he had to say and teach the world. Rami also helps many other social and charitable causes. He recently donated £250,000 to the London South Bank University to set up the Dr. Rami Ranger MBE Fund for Enterprise Excellence and the Dr. Rami Ranger MBE Centre for Graduate Enterprise. The centre was opened by the Right Honourable Theresa Villiers, Secretary of State for Northern Ireland. Rami said that he hoped the centre would empower people through education and enable them to free their imaginations, and that would play a part in helping them achieve their aspirations. He further added that he hoped other entrepreneurs would follow suit and support our educational institutions. Rami was recently awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of West London for services to business and community cohesion, adding to his earlier doctorate awarded by Preston University of the USA. In all, Rami has done his best to put back into society from where we have received so much and become the change he wanted to see.
Hello everyone, welcome to Chat with Chithra Season 2. I'm absolutely thrilled and honored to introduce my guest today. He's a great role model and an inspiration to millions of people across Great Britain and elsewhere. A very inspiring personality, a successful entrepreneur, and a devoted community activist. He's the chairman of an international marketing and distribution company, Mark Ltd, and Sea Air and Land Forwarding Limited. He's the founding member of the Hindu Forum in Britain. He's the patron of the Conservative Friends of India. He's a chairman of the British Sikh Association, and he's a fellow of the Prince's Trust. Dear friends, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Rami Ranger CBE. Welcome to Chat with Chithra Season 2. Namaste, Dr. Rami. How are you today?
Namaste. Thank you, Chithra ji, for your warm introduction and your warm welcome. I'm very grateful and I'm very humble to be here.
Thank you so much for joining. It's my great honor. I have read that your mother has been a great source of inspiration in your life. I'm eager to know about your growing up years, Dr. Rami.
We were 8 children, 7 brothers and 1 sister. We owe our upbringing and success and lives to this remarkable mother who was widowed at the age of 35. So you can imagine, because my father was a visionary, he could foretell the consequences of religious disharmony. He pleaded with the then Muslim leader not to cut and run, not to fall for the British divide and rule policy, which had turned into divide and run. India will be secular and democratic country with 1 person, 1 vote. Together we'll make our destiny. But if we go our separate way, we'll become rival forever. And we will never see peace in the subcontinent, because if you create a country on the basis of hatred, how will you remove that base? So anyway, he was a against the partition, and he became a marked man. And one day there was a procession by DAV school, Multan, against the partition of India. They got caught in riots. My father, being a local leader, went to save this student. He managed to rescue the student, but he lost his own life for the Hindu-Muslim unity in India. So my mother became widow, lost everything, ancestor home, country, and breadwinner. And her own family member told her to give children to orphanage, and you will not be able to look after them because you are now in a strange country, because we came to India in a refugee train. My father's reputation saved us because the Indian driver knew my father. My mother went to ask for his help. He recognized my mother and knew my father, and uh, and he said, "Look, I can't help you get on the train, but if you don't mind, you can sit on the coal tenders, where they keep colas."
Oh.
So we came on the coal tender. I was only 2 months old. We all became black, and it was a horrible journey. Normally, last few hours, it lasts nearly 24 hours, and it was stopping. People were looting, attacking, taking away whatever they could get. It was a free for all. But anyway, we arrived at a refugee camp in Patiala, which was opened by the Maharaja Patiala to receive the refugees. And my mother collected, before she left, she collected my father's certificate, newspaper cuttings, and all the letters from his friends, that nobody will know me, who I am. It is all about vision of a person that saved us. So those papers she presented to the local leader, and she said, "This is what I was. This is what I've become. Please help me." And they were really shaken and stunned to see, that she belonged to such a remarkable man. Uh, uh, and they immediately found us a accommodation, a house, free education to all of us. And also they asked my mother if we were educated. She said, "I'm up to Gyani, which is up to eight or ninth standard." And she said, "Okay, we can just teach in the kindergarten, ABC, to children." And so my mother became a teacher, and she worked very, very hard. She would get up in the morning, prepare our breakfast, leave for school, and then come back and start cooking again. It was a very difficult and hard life for my mother. I could only remember her working for morning delivery. But thankfully, for the last 20 years of her life, she was in United Kingdom, and we were able to give her whatever she deserved, and she was happy in her last days. But for the last so many years, she struggled and struggled and instilled the right values. And always emphasize on the values, because it's the values which make people what they are. Good values, bad values. Luckily, we had come from India. We came from a poor country, but very rich values, because we were very ancient civilization, and we know how to respect our parents, how to respect our family, neighbors, how to work hard, how to be God-fearing. All these qualities and values we inherited from day one, which has really been helpful. And it is no surprising, or it's no wonder that the Indians are successful wherever they go, because they were ahead of everybody before the invaders came and tried to break our soul, but they didn't succeed, but they done enough damage. But now we are a very united country under a very great leader, Prime Minister Modi. I admire. India is now going to get back to its original glory in not too distant future. And it's no surprise that all the blue chip companies are now run by Indians because of the values we inherited, hard work, family values, respect, loyalty. All these values are what made us. So I'm very lucky that I had a mother, and this is why I always say women empowerment is a prerequisite for a civil and progressive society, because women are the architect of our next generation.
So beautiful.
Father is too busy trying to build his life, business, or job, but it's left to mother. Mother will also go out to work. Then they come and look after the children. So mothers, if what they do not experience themselves, that they cannot impart into their children. And more importantly, if a husband dies prematurely, like my father did, he will leave behind a woman unable to deal with the world and mother unable to look after his children. For the sake of his children, uh, man should make sure that women are given equal opportunities. And I'm successful today because my wife, she worked with me shoulder to shoulder and she supported, she brought extra income. We were able to send our children to good school. And today my children are shining. One is a gold medalist doctor, one is going to be member of parliament, one has got her own very dynamic company. She's a LSE graduate, scholarship holder, work for PwC, Google. So it is very important because the mothers are the one who will shape the future of children. So I'm so pleased that in our culture we have given women we have goddesses. We pray. Yeah. We say Jai Mata Di. Yes. So therefore, so I'm very fortunate that I belong to a country from where I inherited the values which made me what I am today.
Absolutely. It's so very inspiring. And I'm sure your mother has been one of the strongest influence in your life and instilled, all the important values that has actually, made you a good human being, irrespective of whatever success you have, recognition you've earned along the way. Most important is the values of hard work, dedication, family values is what would really make a difference to stand out from others. So I'm really very inspired, and so will our viewers.
Our mother used to say, son, you make money for respect. When you have no respect, what's the use of money? So earn respect, money will follow you. She will always tell us the right things, that it is very important that you are respected. And for that reason, and it's a very creditable, she gave 5 of her sons to the defense of India. They became commissioned officer in the Indian Army, and the same destitute mother, became the proudest Indian mother for giving 5 sons to the defense of India. So I came here to study law, but because of the financial constraint, I had no money so I just started to take odd job, and from a very humble beginning, and now I'm in the house of Lord, all because of the values and the teaching and the inspiration, the guidance by a remarkable woman.
Absolutely. So inspiring. Dr. Rami, breaking into the UK's predominantly non-ethnic political scene must have come with its challenges. How did you ensure your voice was heard there?
You see, Chithra, everything is by chance. I met some Jewish people who were very publicly and politically spirited in this country. And I was watching them, and I found out that it took Jewish people one Holocaust to realize that politics is necessity, not a choice. And we Asians were kicked out of Uganda only recently. And we were kicked out of Fiji, Burma, wherever, because we never took part in the decision-making process. So I then, with help of other people, formed a group to make Asian, especially the Indian people, politically spirited, because Indians are successful in every field, business and jobs. They have very little time. But then I had to bring home a message. We had to convince them that you are no longer an immigrant. You are not going back. This is your country. Your children and grandchildren are born here. And if you don't make decision in a democracy, somebody else will make it for you. So then we will all suffer. And besides, if we are attacked, racist attacks, nobody will bother. Nobody will give us any justice. And if there's so anyway, so it took us 30 years to bring people to this level that we now have a prime minister in number 10 Downing Street. Because so now we are a very big force. But you, as Mahatma Gandhi said, or somebody said, the longer journey began with the first single step. I'm glad that we made them realize that it is very, very important, that you take part in a democracy and shape the future of your own future rather than giving somebody else a chance. And that's how we are here. But it was a very long struggle. We must have done hundreds of events, hundreds of dinners with the high profile leaders just to change the perception, because the Conservative Party thought that we are a very we are just not very successful and very poor. We are looking for party with benefit, and I had to convince them that we are a successful. We are not looking for party which gives us benefit, but which gives us opportunities. And the perception, we had to change each other's, and I'm glad we did what we did, and the results are good for the democracy and for our own community as well.
Absolutely. Despite all the challenges, I think we have progressed a long way from where we were and what people really believed about us, and you've changed the scenario completely. And now the Indians or the non-ethnic minority are able to express their opinions, and they're also able to hold high positions in the political scenario. That's an amazing achievement.
And we didn't want anything special. We didn't want any special favor. We just wanted equal opportunity, and we have proved ourselves that we are an asset. We're not a liability. We are contributing a lot more. You name it. India is exporting doctors, engineers, scientists, teachers, businessmen. We are shaping the modern world, and we're a force for good.
Absolutely, yes, so true. Why do you think it is important to preserve one's culture in a new setting, such as the UK political environment? What advice would you give to others who are hoping to make similar prominent impacts in the world?
As a Sikh, I've been told that Guru Gobind Singh said, diversity must be accepted, respected, and defended. Wow. And if you know the history, how he defended the diversity of India, which we enjoy today. So there is a strength in diversity, and we, by being different, are in fact bringing strength to the fabric of society. If we all had the same color of clothes, same color of food, same color of cars, same everything, life will be very dull.
Yeah.
And the rich culture of India is enriching the lives of great British people. Look at the amount of food they're enjoying now. There was a time when I came in over 52 years ago, they couldn't stand curry. Now they can't get enough of it. We are the #1 food in this country. Our music, our dresses, our Bollywood, dances have become so popular. We have enriched this country. So therefore, if you look at the Indian culture, India has never invaded any country. We have never gone out to change people's religion. In fact, people are welcome in India. There are more religion, more culture, more languages, more different, faith live side by side in India. Not for 1 year or 10 years, for hundreds of years, they've been living together in harmony. Until 1947, when somebody had the bright idea to divide us, after years of, living together for centuries with common history, heritage, common language, common everything, somebody decided to divide. And the consequence of the division are still felt. So therefore, we think I believe we should respect different cultures, because different culture bring strength, and they bring a lot of excitement in the world.
Absolutely. It's important to embrace different cultures, and that's what we've been doing as a nation for many years since our Indian independence, right? And even prior to that. So I think you've expressed some very valuable insights for this.
I would like to commend this country also. There are countries which actually do not respect diversity. In fact, they discriminate against section of their own population based on their race, religion, or gender, even gender. Yes, there are countries, not one, maybe more than 50 countries, and they are not going anywhere. They're not going to have scientific, technological, or medical innovation because the human freedom is very, very important for us to progress. But in this country, United Kingdom, there are laws against discrimination. So they do not allow anybody to discriminate you on the basis of your religion, your sex, or your ethnic, race. So which is very good, and that's why this country, small island country, has become very strong. It punches well above its weight, and I'm looking forward to UK-India trade, which will become even more important between the two great nations.
Absolutely, that will open a lot of windows of opportunity for both the nations.
Indeed, India is a very big economy. It's bigger than that of United Kingdom, and the market is very big, and the people want to have British products.
True. What does achieving awards and recognitions mean to you, your business, and your purpose in life, Dr. Rami?
You see, the awards are very important in one's life because that recognize your work. What you're doing is accepted by the rest of public as well. There is there's a song in Hindi, "Jungle mein mor nacha kisne dekha." If you have a talent or you have some ability, you should first celebrate that, and if it's recognized by the public, by someone else, that encourages you more and it motivates other people, inspire other people to follow you. So award do not have any monetary value, but they have tremendous psychological value that it inspires you to do more because somebody has praised you. Praise is very important. How much we praise our children, our students when they do good. So if you want to inspire other people, then we have to celebrate success, and celebrating success is a good thing.
Absolutely, a little pat on the back does definitely
goes a long way.
Motivates a person, and it in fact makes them realize that their achievements are being accepted by the community.
Indeed, and it encourages them to do more.
Absolutely,
achieve more, because they like to be in the limelight. So for that reason, I will recommend people to have ambition that I want to be the best among the rest, and I want to be recognized.
Absolutely. What did you hope to achieve by this age? And would you say that you are successful in executing your vision? Did your vision change as the time progressed? If so, what influenced this?
You see, I have achieved whatever I could achieve financially, but now there are other social issues in the world which we have to tackle. And from my position, for example, I support women empowerment program wherever they are. Financially also. I also did, Hindu ball. Once upon a time, they used to carry Lord Rama, Lord Krishna on T-shirt, carrier bag, doormat, even the bathroom mats. So, we had to tell these people that, they are not pop star. Yeah. They are revered deities. We worship them. We bow our head to them. We took guidance from them. So I did a Hindu ball in Hilton Park Lane Hotel with 750 guests. I had about 40 members of parliament from House of Lords and everything to show them, what is Hindu culture, what is Hindu religion, how it has enriched this country, how Hindus are very hardworking people. They invest in the children, they're high achievers, they pay higher taxes, commit low crime. All those things you had to tell them, and then I say for that community to insult them like this is very demoralizing and not very good. And they were very shocked; they didn't know all this. And now there's a Hindu advisor in every government department, telling them what is right for Hindus, what is wrong for. So sometimes you have to do this social. There might not be money at the end of the day, but there's a benefit to the community and to the country, that we all can have a social cohesion. We can all live in a harmony and respect each other.
Absolutely. You're conveying a very important message, that is to respect every culture and people from different race and ethnicity, isn't it? And that's a great thing. Yeah.
Now we celebrate Diwali in number 10 Downing Street in Parliament. We just celebrate Vaisakhi in again number 10. So, all this, our promoting our culture, promoting our heritage, because we are a very old civilization.
Yeah.
We were ahead. You just have to visit one old temple, and
Yeah.
2,000 years old temple, to see how far. We had no cranes, we had no lifting equipment, we had no cutting equipment, and people could make a masterpiece with all these basic, tools at their disposal. So that just shows how far we were. I just read the other day that we were the first to perform plastic surgery, where we were the first to knew about astronomy, mathematics, zero. All these things, we have to let people know that India is an ancient civilization, and you can learn a great deal from that ancient. If I survive 10,000 years, there must be some strength in it.
Absolutely, isn't it? Yeah. And it is important for every Indian to convey this message across. And I think UK has embraced, different cultures, and it's a great change from where we were earlier, and we are on the right path.
I fully agree, but we have to make an effort for reach out to people and to tell them that we bring benefit. We need to be recognized, and we did just to be able to add value to whatever with our presence here.
True. You mentioned you take time to mentor the underprivileged youth. Do you choose your mentees, Dr. Rami? What are the qualities you would expect from them, or what would you hope to instill within them throughout the mentoring process?
Chithra ji, life is very simple. Copy what you want to be. If you want to be a neta, you have to copy a neta. If you want to be a doctor, you have to copy a doctor, engineer. So the student, I tell them that they have to have a mentor, somebody, a role model in front of them. And also, I give them values, which is a very basic value, which we are all born with them. But people don't use it, people are not aware of it. And those 5 values which I give them is, number 1 is a self-respect, that you must maintain your self-respect. If you don't have respect, you come to office late, you go to school late, you're not dressed properly, you're lying, you're cheating, you're lazy, you're damaging your own respect.
Yeah.
Your respect is in your own hand, that you're honest, you're respectful, you come to work, so respect is self-respect. When you don't have self-respect, you'll cut corners, you do all sorts of horrible things. You don't care. I don't have respect. If there's somebody shouts, scream, insult me, who cares? But self-respect is number 1. Work ethic is very important. That if you have a job, you're doing a business or working with somebody, you must work ethically. People should not suffer because of your, attitude. So work ethic, that you can't take advantage of your customer or your suppliers or your staff. You have to treat everybody with ethically. Then you make a great team. Commitment is very important. No matter if you're Cambridge or Oxford educated or Harvard or Yale, if you don't have a commitment to your work or to your ambition or to your task, it's useless. You have the education, but you're not using it. If you keep watching the clock instead of watching your work, those who watch their work will surge ahead. So it's very, very important that you show commitment. You also have to have empathy for others. You can't have an attitude, I'm all right, Jack. I'm fine, you can आप भाड़े में जाओ, वो भी ठीक नहीं है, because you have to empathize with people. If somebody comes to do business with you, some to come to ask for your help, your worker, your employee, wherever, you have to treat them with empathy as you would like to be treated. So with that way, the world become better. The whole your own world will become better. And finally, you have to have ambition. If you don't have ambition, you're like a headless chicken, unable to find direction. What is the purpose of life? You have to have a purpose, you have to have a goal, and that ambition is very important. Vision. With vision, you create a way to reach that target. So this is where I am, this is where I want to be, that's where I want to be, and how will I get there is very important. That you have to work your strategy yourself. You have to think. In time, sometimes you sit down and you think uh, where you want to be. If you don't, then nothing will happen. So you knowingly, intentionally, deliberately, you have to have some ambition, this target.
So inspiring. The 5 values of the 5 pillars of wisdom, if I may humbly say so. And it is very true. Each and every aspect of what you have mentioned here is very important for a person to succeed. Now, you've held several leadership positions and still continue some in an advisory capacity on different boards, right? What do you think has changed in the global management styles or approaches from where you started compared to now? What, in your opinion, do the current leaders need to bring to the table?
You see, leadership is all about making people realize or making people feel that they are better off with them, with those leaders. The leader have care and concern for other people. So leadership qualities are very important, that people get some benefit. If you're a leader, you can't just be looking after yourself. People will not follow you unless they know that there is a end of the road, there is something to gain from. So, and leaders must also be looking at a bigger picture. Leader can't be a selfish leader that is my only interest. You have to think of I give you, for example, political leader. By giving a lot of benefit to workers, which is a good thing, you also have to understand how will now the employer generate money to pay for those benefits if the workers are not producing enough goods and enough services to sell. Yeah. Who is going to buy? If my price of my car has become double, will they buy British car or will they buy Japanese car? This is what happened in 70s when there were so many benefits in this country. The people were getting more money without working from the government than working. Yes, because the income tax was very high, up to 90%. So that is also depend on the leadership. A short-term gains can become long-term losses for the nation. Yes, even the people who got the benefit will suffer in the long run because the benefit can't be sustained forever. You cannot, you don't have a money tree. We have to compete with the Chinese, we have to compete with the Japanese, French, German, you name it, to sell our products and services. But if you make me pay double the salary, double the benefit, double the holiday, double this, then even the British won't buy British. And they never used to buy British. They all bought Japanese. If I remember a time you could hardly see a British car. All the car industry went. Tata bought Jaguar, Land Rover. Chinese bought MG. Somebody, Rolls-Royce was bought by BMW, and Bentley was bought by Volkswagen. So all these companies went because of all these wrong policies of our leaders. So we have to be very careful that we must look after the entire group of people, not just section of population.
Very true and very wise words. Thank you, Dr. Rami. We now move on to the second segment of the chat, which is called the lighter side of you. How would you describe yourself in 3 words, Dr. Rami?
Very lucky man, fortunate to have a wonderful family.
What is that one song that comes to your mind now? Would you like to hum a few lines? Hindi song.
I enjoy O.P. Nayyar's music very much, and Shankar Jaikishan, and there's so many songs I love, but you have asked me for one. Ye Raat Bhigi Bhigi. There's a song, Manna Day and Lata Mangai. Ye Raat Bhigi Bhigi, Ye Mast Nazare, Ye Pyari Pyari. But I like the tune.
Your most fulfilling life experience?
Winning the Queen's Award first time was breaking a sound barrier. A man who sometimes never had shoes was now going to receive it from the Queen in Buckingham Palace and walking on the red carpet with his wife to all the way and to be received by the Queen of the country. So that was a wonderful feeling for me to be among all the good and the great of this country. And I was a humble immigrant. And my wife, I asked my wife especially to wear sari to make a statement that we have also arrived.
Yeah. At the end of a long day, how do you relax and unwind yourself?
That's a very, I'm very lucky now with the internet and everything. You can listen to old Hindi song of 60s, 50s, 70s. When I was growing up in Chandigarh, I used to listen to watch film. So they were my favorite song. Now I can listen to them 24/7 through internet. There's a radio station called Simple Radio. It's an app. You download the app. You can listen to any radio station of the world free of charge. And I listen to Hindi music, the Bollywood greatest songs 24/7. So when I come, I switch that on, and in the background, it just brings the nostalgia, and I go back to my college days.
If you could host a dinner and a discussion with anyone in the world from any time period, who would you like to invite?
There are quite a few people, I would like to listen to. Mahatma Gandhi was one character, who had everything, and he gave up everything for a cause. I like to see people who have given up things for a cause.
Yeah.
They had a cause, and I'm free today because of the sacrifices of our leader. People who paid the ultimate price for us to be free, yet they were not fortunate enough to enjoy the freedom which we are enjoying today. And I'm sitting in the House of Lords as an equal because of the vision of those people like Subhash Chandra Bose. They made sure that we enjoyed the place in the world which we deserve. Absolutely. So I would like to have one of those leaders. What made them, they had everything. What made them give up?
Yeah.
For a cause and suffer so much?
Your favorite food or cuisine?
Curry. I love Indian curry because, no matter where I go, I eat a lot of food. I go to I can have French, Italian. They're very good friends. But satisfaction you only get that is from your own food.
Desi, yeah.
Desi, and we got a lot of varieties. You
Absolutely.
name it. It's amazing how lucky we are.
Absolutely.
Now we are feeding the world.
Indeed, yes. Your favorite holiday destination?
My favorite holiday, because it depends on the season. When I'm in the winter in this country, and I like to go to Caribbean, the islands, because there's a very nice breeze, and when it's such a cold hair, there's ice, snow, and then you go to that place where you're wearing shorts and t-shirts, and then the breeze blows, and you're sitting outside, and it's amazing. It's not too hot even that, although in some months Caribbean becomes very hot, which is unbearable. But especially in December and January, that's my favorite destination if I go. Otherwise, I also enjoy Dubai. I think it's a very happening place and very popular with Indian people.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite places as well. It's a beautiful
Really.
place.
I salute to the vision. Again, money does not make money. People make money. And the people with vision create paradise in a desert.
Absolutely. So with this, we come to the end of this very lively chat, and I'd like to thank you for your valuable time and sharing your valuable insights, today to all our viewers. And this will not be covered in the chat. I would like to request if you would like to be one of our patrons for.
Thank you, Chithra. Well, when we take your name, we take name of two Bhagwan, Ram and Krishna. So it's a wonderful. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.